Today, two local Marshall's discount clothing stores closed the doors for the last time.
Ever felt like you scored a huge win walking out of Marshall's with bags full of deals? You might have just fallen for one of dozens of retail tricks designed to make you buy more and pay more without even realizing it. Marshall's isn't just a discount store, it is a carefully engineered psychological maze. From color-coded tags to where items are placed on the floor, everything has a purpose and a strategy behind it. If you want to know the truth behind every bargain you think you scored, this video is for you. And if you love uncovering shopping secrets like this, make sure you're subscribed to Frugal Finds For You right now so you never miss another money-saving breakdown. Comment 1 if you've ever been tricked at Marshall's and didn't realize it until later. 10. The same item, two different prices. If you believe every product at Marshall's has a fixed and consistent price, it is time to think again. One of the store's most effective visual tricks is placing the same item in two different spots with two very different price tags. Picture this. You're browsing a rack of sweatpants and find a pair you like for $19. Not bad. You feel like you found something comfortable and affordable. But then you turn the corner into the clearance section, and there it is again. Same pants, same brand, same material, same size, but now with a red or even yellow sticker. The price? Up to 40% less. This is not a mistake. It's a tactic. Marshall's knows most shoppers will not walk around the whole store comparing duplicates. They know we shop by impulse. Grab, glance, go. That habit helps them keep profits high, especially on in-demand items that people will buy quickly without overthinking. But smart shoppers cross-check. If you find something you like on the main rack, swing by the clearance area and similar sections. You might spot the same item for way less, just a few steps away. A few extra minutes of walking can save you serious money over the course of a year. One viewer from our Frugal Finds For You community once spotted a sweater priced at $24.99 in the new arrivals section. A few aisles later, she found the same one with a yellow tag for only $14. No damage, no difference, same style, same size, just a different shelf. The takeaway is simple. Never buy the first version you see. Marshall's is a maze by design, and the same item can carry multiple prices depending on where it sits. Start building the habit of checking around before you head to the register. It makes your wallet healthier and turns you into the type of customer Marshall's dreads most: alert, thoughtful, and not easily fooled. 9. Decoding price tag symbols. That little sticker on each Marshall's item is more than just the price. It is a secret map. And if you know how to read it, you'll see what Marshall's never wants you to notice. Most people focus only on the big, bold number, but the real story is hiding in the small words and digits around it. Start with the tiny words no one pays attention to. If your tag says designer, you're holding something real. Not a knockoff, not a look-alike, but a true name-brand item bought by Marshall's in limited quantities. These pieces go fast and rarely come back once they sell out. When you see designer, you're probably looking at overstock or last season product from a high-end label that still sells at full price elsewhere. But be careful with another word. IRR. That's short for irregular, and it means there might be a flaw. The question is, how bad is it? That's your job to check. Sometimes it's just a crooked stitch, a label sewn slightly off, a tiny dot in the fabric, or a seam that's a little uneven. You might not even notice it unless you turn the item inside out and inspect it like a detective. In return for that tiny imperfection, you could save 20% to 50%. So do not ignore the word irregular. Check carefully. If the flaw is purely cosmetic and doesn't affect comfort, fit, or function, you just scored a major deal. But if you see obvious pulls, rips, stains, or broken zippers, you might want to leave it behind unless the discount is huge. Next up, the numbers that look random. Ever see $99 on a tag and think that's a compare it price? It's not. That number is often tied to the original manufacturer's retail pricing or category coding, the real number before Marshall's put their own label and markdowns on it. Understanding this helps you see how much you're actually saving instead of falling for that vague compare at $50 line that Marshall's prints to make discounts sound bigger than they really are. Lastly, look for a tiny box with 1 or 2 digits or a small code near the barcode. That tells you when the item arrived at the store or what week it was received. A higher age or older code age means it's been sitting there for a while and could be headed for deeper discounts soon. That's your moment to wait it out, especially if your size is still in stock and the shelves aren't being swarmed. In short, Marshall's tags are like a secret code system. If you learn how to read them, you can time your purchases better, spot true value, and avoid shiny distractions. Reading a tag is not just a habit, it is a weapon. And once you master the code, you're no longer a random shopper. You are in control. And that is exactly the kind of shopper Marshall's never wants to meet. If you're finding this helpful, tap that subscribe button for frugal finds for you, so you always stay one step ahead of retail tricks like these. 8. The best time to shop. You can walk into Marshall's any day of the week, but if you go at the wrong time, you might just be flipping through racks of leftovers, passed over items, or worse, paying full price for something that will be marked down by half just hours later. Timing at Marshall's is not a minor detail. It's a huge part of how much you end up spending. A lot of people assume you have to get there right when the store opens to grab the best stuff. But according to several Marshall's employees, new inventory does not always hit the shelves first thing in the morning. Instead, the sweet spot is usually between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. That's when the staff start putting out fresh merchandise after truck deliveries and morning sorting. If you go too early, you're still looking at yesterday's leftovers, not the day's new arrivals. So for the best selection, head in during late morning or early afternoon. That's when the good pieces are out, still untouched, and employees are awake, alert, and more available to help. You'll have a much better chance of finding premium items before the after-work crowd rolls in. And what's the best day of the week? Avoid Monday if you can. After the weekend rush, stores use Monday to clean up, straighten racks, and reset the floor, not to restock heavily. You'll likely see empty gaps, odd sizes, and a bunch of leftover pieces nobody wanted on Saturday or Sunday. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are the holy trinity for seasoned Marshall shoppers. That's when new items are hitting the floor, leftover stock is being cleared out, and the crowds are still manageable. You'll get more space to browse, more options in your size, and more time to make smart decisions, especially if you're hunting for clearance items or seasonal pieces. Keep an eye on January and July. Those are major transition months when Marshall's rotates inventory and makes space for new collections. That often means deeper markdowns, especially the yellow tags that mark final clearance. If you're patient and flexible, this is when you can fill your wardrobe or home with quality pieces for a fraction of the normal cost. 7. Decoding red and yellow clearance tags. Surrounded by brightly colored stickers at Marshall's, you might assume everything with a colored tag is a steal. But have you ever wondered what the real difference is between those red and yellow clearance tags? These aren't just there to catch your eye. They are part of Marshall's markdown system, and understanding them makes you a smarter, more strategic shopper. Red tags come first. Most people think these represent rock-bottom prices, but here's the truth. Red is just the beginning. A red tag means the item has entered markdown mode, but it's not necessarily at its final price. Marshall's may lower it again in a week, or even several times, especially if it's overstocked, seasonal, or not selling well. So if your item is not rare, not a special size, and not something you absolutely need immediately, waiting a few days might save you an extra 20% to 30%. The risk is that someone else grabs it first. The reward is getting a much better deal for simply being patient. Yellow tags, on the other hand, are your final call. When you see a yellow tag, it means Marshall's has discounted the item as low as it will go. No more drops, no more markdowns. Yellow tags are the last chance labels. These usually appear twice a year in January and July when the store resets inventory, but you'll also see them sprinkled throughout other transition periods when older stock must be cleared out quickly. During these windows, you'll see a wave of markdowns across clothing, shoes, and home goods, all tagged in yellow to move out the old and make room for the new. This is when serious bargain hunters go into mission mode, scanning aisles for high-quality items and designer pieces marked down to shockingly low prices. Here's a sneaky trick: stacked stickers. Sometimes a yellow tag has 2 or 3 layers, each covering a deeper discount from the last week. Every markdown cycle, employees peel off the old tag and cover it with a new one. If you look closely or gently lift a corner, you can sometimes see how many rounds of markdowns an item has gone through and decide whether it's already at its lowest or could still possibly drop. However, waiting too long is always a gamble. If you hesitate, that item you love might be gone by tomorrow, especially if it's your size, your style, or from a premium line. Some yellow-tagged products never even make it past a single day on the rack. They disappear within hours to people who recognize the value instantly. 6. Not all Marshalls are created equal. Ever walked into a Marshalls and thought, why does everything here look outdated? Then visited another location in a wealthier area and found shelves full of Coach bags, Adidas sneakers, and high-end silk scarves. That difference is real, and it is no accident. Marshalls assigns merchandise based on local income levels, sales history, and shopping patterns. Stores in higher income zip codes, where customers are used to spending more, buying designer brands, and chasing trends, get more premium inventory in larger quantities and more often. These locations might receive designer handbags, luxury shoes, and name brand clothing almost every week. Meanwhile, stores in lower income areas may get more basics, fewer designer labels, and sometimes leftover stock, redistributed from other locations. This isn't personal, it's a strategy. Marshalls uses data like how fast certain items sell, what gets returned, and how much people in that area typically spend to decide what to send where. If you want better finds, simply driving 15 or 20 minutes into a more upscale neighborhood can completely change your shopping experience. The same chain, the same company, but a very different level of product quality. There's something else most people never realize. Some exclusive products are never widely distributed. They are sent to just a handful of select locations for a very limited time. That means if you only ever shop at the one Marshalls closest to your house, chances are you're never seeing some of the best, most premium inventory that comes through the system. The smart move is to pick 2 or 3 Marshalls locations within 10 to 20 miles of where you live or work. Include at least one in a wealthier area, one in a more average neighborhood, and the one you already know. After a few visits, you'll clearly see which store has the better brands, which one gets picked over first, and when each one is less crowded. That's the key to upgrading your Marshalls game without spending a cent more. You're not just shopping, you're strategizing where and when to hunt for the highest quality items at the lowest possible prices. 5. Strategic bargaining. It might sound surprising at a big retail chain like Marshalls, but yes, you absolutely can bargain. Not by being loud, rude, or demanding, but by using a smart, polite approach that makes employees feel comfortable offering a discount when it makes sense. The key lies in one important detail. Unless an item is labeled as is, meaning no returns, Marshalls employees are often allowed to adjust prices on slightly damaged goods. That means if you spot a scratch on a table, a loose button on a coat, or a small frayed seam on a dress, don't walk away. That's your moment to negotiate. The trick is not to ask, "Can I get a discount?" in a confrontational way. Instead, say something like, "This item has a small scratch here. Do you think the store could adjust the price a little?" Or, "Could you check if anything can be done for this small flaw?" Use a calm tone, be respectful, and stay friendly. This style works especially well when the store isn't slammed with customers. When things are quieter, staff and managers have a little more time and flexibility to help you and look up what kind of discount they're allowed to offer. A little empathy and basic politeness can easily save you 10% to 30% right at the register. Another smart tip is to focus on large or bulky items that are more likely to be passed over due to minor flaws. A wood cabinet with a small paint chip, a picture frame with a nicked corner, or a chair with a barely noticeable scuff are perfect candidates for a markdown. Employees know these pieces take up a lot of floor space, so offering a discount is often the most practical option to move them out. Now, don't expect every employee to say yes. Some may refuse due to store policies or if the flaw truly is minor. But if you stay courteous and realistic, you might be surprised at how flexible the system can be. One shopper managed to get an $89 shelf for $59 simply by pointing out a tiny crack and asking nicely. 4. Decoding label details. Most shoppers only focus on one thing, the bold price on the tag. But for those who start at the top left corner of the tag, you'll often see a 4-digit number. This isn't the price or just a random code. It's the item's category code. For example, one range might refer to home goods, another to men's fashion, another to kids' clothing. This info is helpful if you ever need to exchange something or hunt for a similar item in the same category. Next, look below the price line. If you see a smaller number that looks like 019999 or 03999, take note. That is usually tied to the original MSRP, the manufacturer's suggested retail price. It's not what Marshalls paid, but it gives you a real-world reference. Many people confuse compare at prices with true market prices, but those compare at numbers are often made up or rounded to make the discount look bigger. Now find the small box or code near the barcode. This often shows the week or year the item arrived. For example, 11/23 might mean the 11th week of 2023. The older that code is, the more likely that item is headed for a deeper markdown soon. If you see that something has been sitting there for 4 or 5 weeks, you can even ask an employee, "This has been on the shelf for a while. Any chance it'll be marked down soon?" Another detail to watch for is small words like designer or irregular. If it says designer, congrats. You're likely holding a legitimate name brand item, often overstock or end-of-season merchandise from luxury or mid-range retailers. If it says irregular, then you know the product has minor manufacturing flaws, so you'll want to inspect it closely. Lastly, if you're choosing between two similar items, compare those tag numbers. They might look identical on the outside, but be from different batches with different shelf times or different costs. The older one could soon get a yellow clearance tag or be pulled for donation. Knowing that lets you decide whether to buy now or wait a bit and try your luck. 3. The best items to buy at Marshalls. Not everything at Marshalls is a bargain. Some things are barely cheaper than regular retail, and a few items can even cost more than they should. But if you know what to look for and when to shop, you can walk out with products that rival high-end stores at prices that make your budget breathe a sigh of relief. Shoes are at the top of the list. No other TJX store, the company behind Marshalls and TJ Maxx, beats Marshalls in footwear variety and value. From Adidas sneakers and Steve Madden boots to stylish heels, sandals, and dress shoes, you are often getting genuine high-quality products, usually from limited production runs, overstock, or last season styles. Many of these pairs still sell at full price elsewhere, while you're grabbing them for half. The smart move is to shop for shoes midweek. That's when fresh stock hits the floor before the weekend crowds sweep through and scoop up popular sizes. During this window, sizes are still available, the selection is wider, and your chances of finding the perfect pair for a true discount are much higher. Next up, cosmetics and skincare. Yes, Marshalls carries real name brands like MAC, NARS, Clinique, and sometimes products that used to be Sephora exclusives. The savings often run 40% to 60% off retail. Just remember to always check the packaging condition, look for tamper seals, and check the small jar symbol that says things like 6M or 12 ameners, which means the item is good for 6 or 12 months after opening. If you know how to spot good products, you can seriously upgrade your beauty routine without draining your account. Another treasure zone is home decor and kitchenware. Marshalls is packed with scented candles, stylish picture frames, decorative pillows, storage baskets, ceramics, and even cookware from brands like Cuisinart or KitchenAid. These items can transform your space and your kitchen without the price tag you'd find in department stores. As always, inspect items for chips, cracks, or dents. And don't be afraid to negotiate if you find a small flaw. Lastly, don't overlook seasonal items. During Christmas, Halloween, Easter, or Thanksgiving, Marshalls rolls out themed tableware, towels, throw blankets, and decorations at ultra-low prices compared to specialty stores. This is where you can decorate your home a little extra every year without overspending. But be warned, this is also where impulse buying hits the hardest. It's easy to grab 5 pumpkin-themed mugs when you only need one. Stick to a simple rule. Only buy what you already know you have a spot for at home. If you can't picture exactly where that item will go, leave it on the shelf. 2. Advanced hack, ask, and connect. There is one skill most Marshalls shoppers overlook, but it might be the key to unlocking the real treasure. Knowing how to ask questions and build a simple rapport with employees. You don't have to become best friends with the entire staff, but being friendly with the right person at the right time puts you ahead of 99% of customers. Start with a simple question. Any new items out today? It sounds casual, but it's surprisingly powerful. Most employees know exactly when new stock is brought out, what just came out of the box, or which items are about to be moved to clearance. If you come right at opening time, the best stuff might still be sitting in carts in the back. But if you show up during that midday sweet spot and ask nicely, you might be the first to see the newest untouched finds. But asking alone is not enough. If you truly want to become a semi-insider, try this. Remember the name of a staff member you see often. Thank them when they help you. Ask how their day is going. A smile and a simple "appreciate your help" can do more than any coupon. Over time, employees remember you. Once they recognize you as a polite, respectful regular, something changes. When new items drop or special markdowns are coming, they might tip you off before anyone else. Some shoppers even get a heads up when their favorite candle brand, shoe size, or skincare line is restocked, just because they took a moment to be kind and consistent. You can also ask about items being pulled from the shelf. That's often when markdowns happen in the system. Timing your visit for when price changes usually occur at that location can help you catch the moment when an item gets its red or yellow tag. In many cases, the employee you talk to is the same person who will tell you, if you come back tomorrow, this might be on clearance. Here's one more tip. Ask about the brands you love. Many people don't realize that Marshalls frequently gets large drops from specific brands like Vince Camuto, Adidas, Calvin Klein, and others. If you show interest at the right time, a helpful employee might let you know, "We just got a big shipment yesterday," or "We're expecting more of that brand later this week." That little nudge can be the difference between missing out and scoring something amazing. And if you're serious about leveling up your savings and strategy at stores like this, make sure you're subscribed to Frugal Finds for You so you never miss the advanced hacks we share in future videos. The fashion tag code CONTEMP. Ever felt lost in the endless racks of random clothes at Marshalls? Like each aisle is just luck of the draw? One tiny word might change how you shop forever. CONTEMP. Most shoppers miss it, but many clothing tags at Marshalls include a small line that shows the category. CONTEMP stands for contemporary, an internal code used to label trendy, youthful, modern styles, usually targeted at shoppers in their 20s to early 40s. These are the pieces that mimic current fashion, social media trends, and what you'd see in more expensive stores right now. This tag is not just decoration. It is a built-in filter that helps you skip outdated or slow-moving styles and go straight to the stuff that is still hot. While other racks might be full of older, classic, or off-season pieces, the Contemp line is carefully curated from fast-moving, fashion-forward suppliers. You'll find flowy blazers, Korean-style midi dresses, pastel crop tops, edgy denim, and other items still flying off shelves in full-price stores. And here's the best part. Prices at Marshalls are usually 30% to 60% lower than traditional retail, even for Contemp items. So you're getting current fashion without paying current full-price markups. But don't expect the word Contemp to be easy to spot. It's usually printed small, either under the item name or along the edge of the sticker label. If you don't know how to look for it, you'll walk right past it. Once you do, you can save hours scanning racks because you'll know exactly which sections to prioritize. Keep in mind, Contemp doesn't guarantee high quality. It just means the style is trending. You still need to check fabric, stitching, durability, and fit. And if you ever find a Contemp piece with a yellow clearance tag, congratulations. You just found a rare gem, a current style at a rock-bottom price. One last reminder. Marshalls does not organize clothes by season or collection the way a traditional department store does. That means learning to read the tags is a game-changing skill. If you want shopping here to feel less random and more strategic, start with label reading. Sometimes dressing well is not about how much you spend, it is about how well you decode the rack. Marshalls is not a true deal paradise unless you know how to play the game. From label codes to price tag colors, every detail is part of a strategy designed to make you spend more without noticing. But now you hold the smart shopper's map. If this video saved you a few dollars, helped you dodge a bad buy, or opened your eyes to how Marshalls really works, hit like, drop a comment with your wildest Marshalls find or regret, and subscribe to Frugal Finds for You so you never miss another shopping secret again.